What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome. Give everybody a few minutes to trickle in. I have an early stream today. Early stream right before 6 o'clock. CM, what's going on, brother? How you doing? How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody had a great day. Here we are. CM said immediately smash that like. Hit that like. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's just jump right into it. So, well, actually, hold on. Good man. B-Day was this past weekend. Oh, nice. Happy belated birthday, brother. Happy belated birthday to you. All right, so just jumping right in. So today, what a day today, right? What a day today. And let's just check everything out. If you guys saw, I did post a video today. I'm sorry. I posted a video today, but we also talked about it yesterday. Today we had, inflation numbers come out. We were, not us, but they were calling for a forecast of 2.9 coming off of last time's meeting, which was about 6 weeks ago at around 3.4. So they were forecasting a 0.5% decrease in inflation. Well, the numbers came out and they were at around 3.1 for today. So with that being said, the markets were a little spooked out. We did see this big volatility as far as with Bitcoin today. We were around around when the numbers dropped this morning around 8:30. We were sitting at around 50,000, right? Sitting around 50,000. Well, you can see right after the numbers came, pretty much followed right after that was, a nice little drop with Bitcoin dropping down to about 48,400 as a low. You can see since then we are starting to have some kind of a rebound. And I believe, honestly, we're most likely going to get back up to 50,000 here. It might take a day or two, but, I mean, we're going to get back up there. A couple things with the whole inflation numbers. It stinks that, they put out a forecast, and I was even saying this yesterday. I was like, wow, 2.9 from 3.4, that's a dramatic move, 0.5%. And I'm thinking that's a dramatic move. Well, whenever you put out a forecast like that, and we don't meet expectations, there's going to be, it's going to cause a negative, move in the market, right? It's just inevitable. It's going to happen. And that's what we saw today. I honestly wish whoever's putting out these forecasts, right, if they're getting it from a collective, amount of people, go conservative, right? So when we don't meet those numbers, we don't see an enormous sell-off in the market, right? Considerable would have been like maybe 3%, like maybe a 0.4, because I mean, we went from 3.4 down to 3.1. So we reduced inflation by 0.3%, right? Which would normally be a solid move. But the fact that there was a expectation forecast of a 0.5, it caused a sell-off in the market. And not only was Bitcoin, but you have S&P that was up, that's been up at its all-time high over 5,000, was down almost 1.5%. Dow Jones down pretty much the same thing, 1.5%. NASDAQ 1.5%. It caused a sell-off, and it caused the DXY to start moving up. So it's just for me. It's just dumb for them to put out those forecasts, right? To me, it just seems like, just put out a conservative number, and if we beat it, that's awesome. But if we don't, at least we're not trying to put our expectations so high, right? You're raising the bar too high right now, is what I think. But regardless, what really wasn't effective today? Milady. Milady really had a nice breakout today. You saw this. We topped out today at around 73 or about 72.5, 72.6. Beautiful, beautiful move. We broke through some resistance. We broke through. I mean, look at this beautiful move. This wasn't just from today. This was technically from yesterday. Remember I told you guys, I was like, you know what, I'm buying in. We dropped down to about 55. I was like, I'm going to just add to my bag. I was like, because I just know that we're going to be moving here soon. Obviously not predicting what was going to happen today, but look at that move just from yesterday's bottom. 32% from when we were at our high today, right? When we were at our high today, that's where we pretty much topped out at. Currently where we're at right now from yesterday, still holding about 23%. So I mean, things look great. Honestly, things look great, and I knew as I was watching this thing was going up so fast, so quickly, that we were going to see some kind of a retracement. It was just inevitable. Also, given that, Bitcoin at the same time was not, selling off, but we were still kind of like with Bitcoin at the time when we made this top out, Bitcoin was at like 48.9, like 49 even. So you can see that, we were still kind of down for Bitcoin. So, fast move for Milady, but I think what we can take from it today was that, and I've been preaching this, a lot of us have been saying this, that when this thing starts to take off, it's going to move faster than most of your other projects. And why do we always say this? Because the market cap is still so low. Still so low. Right now, sitting right under $50 million. This thing, I was telling you guys, I was watching as we were pumping earlier, right? And I watched this thing go from 48 million all the way up to 52 million. I mean, within minutes. I saw about $3 million just go right into Milady. There was some big purchases that were coming in. Now, we don't know if those exact purchases sold off or if maybe there was people already kind of waiting for this big move to take advantage of it. Who knows? Who honestly cares, right? Who honestly cares? Like I said, this really just shows us, and it's showing a lot of people, because Milady right now is on top movers list across the board on a lot of exchanges, just bringing in more attention to the project, right? Bringing in more attention. A lot of people are discovering Milady, or they're being reminded that Milady's out there, and maybe they're checking it out and, oh crap, Milady, meme coin, market cap smaller than any other meme coin that you really can think of that's on major exchanges, honestly. So, with that being said, things are looking great. Things are looking great for Milady. Bitcoin, I have nothing negative as far as, like, I know we're going to be right back up towards 50,000 and exceeding 50,000. We're going to just basically continue right past this as we move on in the next few days. Remember when Jerome Powell came out in his meeting, this was like 2 weeks ago, we saw a sell-off, right? And obviously in the last few days, we got right past all that. So, I mean, same thing's going to happen. We just got to give it a few more days, honestly, and we'll get past it. So, a couple things that, we're going to continue to map is these are going to be your Fed meetings as far as what they're going to be doing, if we're going to be having no change, hike, or an ease, right? You can see even from this morning, after these numbers were released, this was around 86%. It's already jumped up to about 91, 92%. And this is basically stating that there's going to be a continued pause as far as interest rates. So this next meeting coming up in March, which is next month, they're most likely going to see a big pause, right? That's what most of the market's already kind of putting into the market right now, right? It's priced in that around 91.5%. It's pretty much going to be a pause. Now we get into May. Looking at May, this has moved around even from this morning. You can see now we have 65% of the market is thinking that we're going to see some kind of a Fed interest ease, meaning where they're going to reduce the interest rates somewhere around 0.25% to 0.5%. This is obviously going to be on the May meeting, right? So these numbers have changed, and like I said, they're going to continue to change as we get closer to both of these meetings. And like I was telling you guys yesterday for the stream, remember, we have the halving going on in April, right? We're going to probably continue to pump up until the halving. We might see, like we normally do see for crypto, right? Whenever there's some good news and it's anticipated, we usually see a build up until, and then we see a sell the news kind of event. People that are in short term that are just thinking they're making out on the market, like they came in, a month before the news or whatever, and then they come in a month as the rumors are building and they sell on the news. Oh yeah, I just made a 20% profit. Cool, nice. Those are going to be the people looking back like, damn it, I probably shouldn't have sold, right? But regardless, we're probably going to see some kind of a sell the news event, after the halving. That's what happens on the 4-year cycle. But what I'm getting to is we have this Fed meeting in May, right? And you can see for right now, and I know these numbers are going to change, but they'll probably change towards, most likely this will be increased, right? This a quarter to a 0.5% ease in the interest rates it'll probably increase, right, as we start getting closer to May. And what I'm getting to out of all this just jamble that I'm trying to preach here is that April halving, sell the news event, next month May, Fed start to reduce the interest rates, starts bringing the market right back up. The sell the news event is pretty much forgotten probably right after this meeting. That's what I'm predicting. We'll have to see how it goes, but most likely that's what I'm predicting we're going to have. And remember, I'm just throwing numbers out, but I'm calling for when we get towards the halving sometime in April that we're going to be most likely around anywhere from $55,000 to $60,000 for Bitcoin. For Milady, it's hard to say where we're going to be if Bitcoin does get to about 55, 60. I mean, what are y'all's predictions? Bitcoin hits 60,000. Let's just say 60,000. What are you guys thinking we're going to do, right? As far as Milady, the reason why I say it's hard is because you see what this pump did today. I mean, out of nowhere, just 25, 30% move. Think about Bitcoin gets up towards 55, holding 55, possibly playing with 60,000. This thing could easily start moving up, and we could be easily, dropping a zero within the next few weeks. So, I mean, anything could happen, right? In these next 8 weeks or 6 weeks, whatever we have until the halving. I think it's like 60 days from now, 63 days. So, I mean, you guys can see we have about 7 weeks until the halving event. So, I mean, anything can happen. Prodigy's calling for 1-0 gone. Yeah, I think that's a conservative move. Is most likely, like a 0 down for sure. Getting back up towards that 10 mark. Maybe in between, because one thing I wanted to do is look at, so when we started pumping from over here, let's see here what we kind of were hitting our head on as far as these pumps. This was obviously about 8 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer. When did we start pumping? This was like mid-December, so it's been like 9 weeks since we saw this initial pump. But you can see right now, price action, where we're at. We're right around here. This really, if you look at where we're at right now, this is just the beginning, folks. This is just the beginning where we're at right now, right? So you can see as we were moving up, we had some ups and downs. You can see, I mean, this thing didn't just go straight up. I mean, you saw we jumped up towards this 92 mark, and look at this dip that we had. It feels like it's been so long ago, but you look at this dip, 30% dip right there. It's almost like the Bitcoin chart when we're looking at when Bitcoin made all-time highs. We jumped up, made this little local high at around 92, 30% dip, and then you guys can see, obviously, we jumped up, made new local highs, so, where we're at right now, and this green line right here that I have, this is where we're at currently right now on this pump that we're at right now. Just imagine where we're headed, people. It's going to be fast. I'm telling you, it's going to be fast. It's going to be fun, so I hope you guys are saddled up. And you know what? If you're thinking right now, did I miss out? Is this a good time to buy right now? Obviously, I'm not giving out any kind of financial advice, right? Any kind of financial advice. But what I would point you towards is the market cap. Being the fact that it's still under $50 million, this is not a bad time to continue to dollar cost average in. Not a bad time. From where we're headed, you still have beautiful opportunity to jump aboard and catch this 100x train easily. But I have been saying, I do gotta throw it out. A lot of us have been saying, on these dips, this is the month chart for on Coin Market Cap. You can see screaming out on these dips. I'm like, just dollar cost average in. Just dollar cost average in. Don't worry about what we're doing right now. Just focus on where we're headed, right? And for the month, we're only up about 4%, but for the week, we are up right now currently around 22%. So, I mean, everything's looking great. I mean, the market still looks beautiful, honestly. After today, you guys, I mean, imagine we saw this little bit of a sell off because of the interest, the inflation numbers, right? We're already at 49,500. We're not far. We're literally knocking on $50,000 door again. A week ago, remember where we were at? We were at like 42, 43,000. You know, so the fact that we have a little bit of a dip today because of some numbers, you know, that we can't prevent. You know, these things are going to happen, right? It's going to happen. But what I'm getting to is, I mean, the fact that we're still sitting at around 49,000, right under 49.6 is still so beautiful. Like I keep telling you guys, I'm not too focused on the big pumps. I'm more worried about where we're finding support. And you can see we're still holding support. This right here, the yellow is going to be the 20-day SMA. This is on the 2-hour. And the orange, this light orange is going to be our 50-day SMA. So, I mean, everything still looks absolutely beautiful. We are still on track to continue to move up. And like I said, I still am running with my prediction that we're going to most likely see. We're most likely going to see some kind of a 40. I'm sorry. I'm most likely going to see some kind of a $55,000 to $60,000 Bitcoin. Sorry, I got distracted because my boy Rawls comes in with the 20 pounds super chat. Everybody say thank you so much, Rawls. I appreciate that, brother. And it has been a long time, man. I was thinking about you yesterday. What's going on? Where have you been? I hope everything's well with you, bro. Thank you so much for that super chat, dude. I really do appreciate that. And let me just jump back real quick. Rawls, if you have any questions, brother, let me know, dude. Again, thank you so much for that super chat, dude. I really appreciate the support. And everybody else, I do appreciate everybody. So going back to CM, everybody wish CM said his birthday was this past weekend. Happy birthday, brother. 40 years young, dude. Nice. Right behind you. I think a lot of us are right behind you. You guys know that YouTube gives me statistics on like everybody that watches my videos, like the age groups. And statistically speaking, for the channel, we usually hold somewhere around 25 to 45 years old, males. Believe it or not, males. 95, I think it's 95 or 96% males, around 25 to 45. So I was like, you know what? That's what's up, brother. That's what's up. Rawls, thank you again, bro. I really appreciate that, dude. I really do, man. Gene was saying, do you think Milady can hit? How many zeros is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros in the next bull run. You know what? So Gene, I think Gene, you know damn well what I always say, market cap wise. It's always market cap wise. You know, I think we mapped it out. If we get up to like a $2 billion market cap, that's dropping down, I think 2 to 3 zeros from where we're at right now. So I mean, calling for, I think we have 7 zeros right now in the price, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So maybe dropping 3 zeros. Yeah, definitely. That's pretty much where we're calling for, is somewhere around that. Dropping about 2 to 3 zeros on this next bull run is what we're conservatively predicting. So, Crip, what's going on, brother? Prodigy said that's about what, 10x technically. 10x for what? What are you talking about? Let's see here. I only made it to 740, trying to get to 1200 before the bull takeover. What are you talking about, Prodigy? What did I miss here? BP said, I made it. Let's go, Milady gang. We are live. TJ, no FUD. What's going on? Canary, of course. Of course what, bro? What are we talking about? Why do I feel like I'm missing out on what's going on in the chat here? You guys let me know what's going on. Let's see here. So Prodigy said, I'm 26, March 5th, my birthday. Nice, bro. Everybody's birthdays are coming up. Mine was back in November. I'm a Scorpio. BP said, happy birthday, CM. You know you'll be right behind, or I'll be right behind in a month. Oh, Canary said, of course, women aren't on this type of stuff. You know what's crazy is bro, when we were pumping like 2 months ago, we had a few girls in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Like daily, they were coming in. Now they've since gone. You know, I'm sure they'll be back. You know, or maybe they're here because we got like 30 people in here. You know, maybe they're here in the back and they're like, bro, I'm not talking. There's just a bunch of guys in here, right? But this is a safe place. This is a safe place. But yeah, I mean, looking at the numbers, obviously the numbers aren't going to lie. There's not a lot of girls that watch the videos, which it is what it is, bro. They're watching all that other stuff on YouTube, like anything that has to do with drama usually, right? I better stop. Canary going to get me in trouble over here. So let's see. Prodigy said, Milady, if we lose a 0. If we lose a 0 right now, Prodigy, that's not a 10x from right now. If we drop a 0, you're talking about a 0 right now. That's not far from where we're at right now. If you map right now where we're at, going up and dropping a 0, that's only 50% move, 47% right now. So that's a 1x right now, not a 10x. Prodigy said, you're late. I know. I'm trying to catch up, trying to host a show here and then stay in the conversation, Canary said, no, it's not safe. We're all savages. Nah, bro. This is a safe place for everybody. Nico said his birthday is in April. Nice. Well, make sure if you guys do come in and it's your birthday, let us know so we can shout out, right? So we definitely want to shout out the whole gang wants to tell you happy birthday. Yeah, BP said, yeah, you better stop. We don't want you getting canceled. You already know, bro. You already know. So let's just jump into some things here. Let's check out first. Let's look at the crypto bubbles. To be expected, obviously, we knew that the market right now, a lot of projects took a hit today. I guarantee as we move towards the next few days, we're going to see more green come back into the picture. You remember yesterday, green across the whole board. I think there was just one small little red bubble, but everything else was green, right? So, I mean, a lot of times, this is what happens when the inflation numbers get released, right? And it's crazy because, honestly, the inflation went down. It went down 0.3%, right? But when you have expectations and you have forecasts at they're raising the bar so high, or they're keeping the bar so high that when we have good numbers like got released today, it still wasn't enough, right? It still wasn't enough. It still gives that uncertainty of what the feds are going to be doing as far as, any kind of pause or ease on interest rates. So, it is to be, it is to be expected that the market is going to react the way it did today, right? And then, like I said, honestly, with Bitcoin still holding pretty well where we're at, we didn't really fall down too much. So, I mean, we're going to rebound quickly. Looking at the weekly, this is what our daily looked like yesterday. The weekly majority of projects, 99% of the projects on the one out of 100 are all in the green right now. And some of them are doing absolutely crazy. Beam, I didn't realize Beam was up so high up. You guys know Beam is like the number one game platform right now for crypto. And they've been doing really well since, for the last few months, they've been steadily just moving up. So, but I mean, you can see across the board, majority of the projects are still in the green. So a lot of them are all still holding their gains. We did see a little bit of a dip today, but I don't think it's really nothing to be technically concerned of, really. So let's see here. So the story pretty much that we were just talking about, Bitcoin drops 2% on a hotter than expected U.S. inflation. So let's see here. The January CPI readings reduce expectations for interest rate cuts in the next months, weighing on risk assets such as crypto. Bitcoin dropped to 48.8 as of January consumer price index report showed a 3.1% annual inflation higher than analyst forecast. Remember, they were anticipating 2.9, right? We went to 3.1, which was only 0.2 difference. But you guys see what could happen, right? Imagine if we would have came in hotter than expected, like 2.8. The markets would have actually went insane, most likely, right? Because then it would have been the opposite effect, where people probably would have been really anticipating that there's maybe going to be some kind of an ease on next month's meeting for inflation. Or I'm sorry, interest rates. Inflation, interest rates, it's just like a scramble of words, right? But you guys understand what I'm saying. But unfortunately, since we went the wrong direction and we were only dropped down 0.3 instead of that 0.5 or more, it kind of went towards, the negative as we were moving. But expectations of a rate cut in May fell to 34% from 52%. And you guys can see, let's see here, from May dropped to 32%. What the hell are they talking about? This is honestly, this thing, maybe this as of this morning, but I'm telling you, these numbers, they fluctuate so much. Like we said, 65% right now. This is May. This is not March. March is pretty much a sealed deal. It's almost 100% certainty that we're not going to see any kind of an ease in March for next month, right? We know there's going to be just a pause. But in May, that they're speaking of in this article, we already can see that about 65.5% are calling for either a half or a 1/4% interest rate cut. So we'll see how that plays out. And like I said, those numbers are 100% going to change as we move closer towards those dates. So, and we already read a lot of these articles yesterday. Crypto traders scoop up options bets at 65,000 and higher. So we have a lot of people betting on the market right now through options that we're going to most likely be seeing 65,000. There was a really big option buys for 55,000 and really big option buys for 65,000. So I think 55 is inevitable, but like I said, I'm predicting somewhere around 55 to 60 coming up towards April on this next happening that we're gonna have 4-year cycles. So like I keep saying, as we move closer, we're gonna see a little bit more certainty. With these Fed meetings, it's always going to be like this, right? You guys remember we've been going through this for 2 years now. It's up and down, with the Fed meetings, or not the Fed meetings, but the CPI reports. It's like even if it's a good report, if it doesn't come out, better than what they're looking for, or at least meeting expectation, there's going to be just a sell-off in the market, right? Now let's see here. What's going on? Is that Cock Toshi? What's going on, brother? He said, Milady gang, and Crip was saying, woke up and saw ladies 6 on top gainer. Good way to start the day. Of course, bro. I mean, earlier we were definitely, I was telling everybody, I watched the market cap jump from about 48 to 52 within minutes. It was like massive buy-in within minutes of this. And I knew and this is with any project, whenever you see something where we're shooting up 10-20% within within an hour or less, like we saw with this earlier today, you're going to see somewhat of a sell-off as well, because this is just too fast of a dramatic move. People are going to take advantage of that 10-20% move. You can see, but we held on pretty well. We're sitting here right around the 68. Looking at where we're at and just zooming out from this last bottom, right here, looking at this last bottom right here, when we drop down to about 47, where we're at right now, we're up about 45%. So that's why I always tell you guys, obviously if you're financially able to do it, take advantage of these dips. And this isn't just for Milady. This is for across the board. This is honestly across the board for any of your projects, right? Today it was Milady, but like I keep telling you guys, as we start getting into some of these numbers and Bitcoin is holding 50,000 or more, we're going to start seeing altcoins start going crazy. I'm not calling for altcoin season yet. You'll know when altcoin season goes. When altcoin season is blowing up, Bitcoin's dominance is going to drop. We've been talking about this a lot, in the last few months. Bitcoin's dominance is going to drop down. When we see altcoin season start, you're going to see Bitcoin drop down probably around 45 to 47%. Somewhere around, around those numbers, if not lower. But somewhere around those numbers, you're going to see the market cap's going to be the same, but a lot of people are going to maybe be moving their assets over to smaller market cap projects, aka altcoins, and that's when you're going to see all your favorite altcoins absolutely going parabolic. Canary said that was Crow. They added to their bag. So I was looking at that, and let me just refresh this. So we have Etherscan already loaded up, and for Crypto.com. Now they do have Crypto.com it's weird. They have multiple wallets, right? So Crypto.com does hold the biggest wallet for Milady right now. Number one at 195 trillion, Milady. 195 trillion, which is around $13.2 million. That's just one of their bags. Their other bag is the fourth biggest wallet at around 70 trillion at around $4.8 million. So alone, just from these two wallets that we know of, Crypto.com holds about 30% of circulating supply of Milady. Now, I will say, looking at the top wallet, because I do check this daily, the quantity I've now, as I'm saying this, I'm kind of going to retract what I was going to say. I was going to say, they've been around 195 trillion for a few weeks now, but at the same time, they could be buying in as they're selling, as users are, the demand's going up on their platforms, right? So let's say today they sold $1 trillion, they could easily go and buy $1 trillion, right? And continue to add to their bags. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about, Crypto.com knows something here. They know something, because the fact that you don't normally see exchanges holding this much of one asset, and I don't mean like obviously Bitcoin or Crypto.com, is $1 billion. They hold billions of dollars of assets, right? So them holding $20 million in Milady is nothing to them, right? But the fact that the market cap, like I keep telling you guys, $20 million to a project that is only have $50 million market cap, that's a big bag, right? So a lot of people are speculating that Crypto.com is anticipating that this thing is going to explode here, and they're basically getting in front of it, right? They're getting in front of it. They want to most likely be the top exchange that is that's basically holding on to a asset like Milady because of the potential of gains. Even if let's say they aren't the biggest exchange as far as transactions, they're still holding on to the most. So when we start moving up, they're even we start moving up, and let's say we 10x, 20x from where we're at right now, their value of what they're holding on just Milady is going to go up tremendously, right? That means that because you got to remember, these exchanges, not only do they want to make sure that they have enough in their bags to sell to their users so they can make money off transactions, but they want to make sure that they have a big bag of just assets, right? They don't want to just buy a couple Bitcoin and then sell a Bitcoin. They want to make sure that they're holding on and building value as well, almost like what we're doing, right? So the fact that they're holding on to 30% of this circulating supply, and we are anticipating that Milady is going to do somewhat of like a 100x. Imagine 100x on top of 20 million, or what do they have? $20 million, about $18 million, 100x. That's going to come out to somewhere around $1.8 billion. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts that they would be holding on just Milady. We'll have to start monitoring their wallets, because if we see them dumping or something like that, we're going to have to find them. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Crypto.com. Let's see here. Crip was saying, I was seriously thinking about pulling out a little bit so I can accumulate more. What do you mean pulling out? Like just whatever, like getting more liquidity so you can get more Milady? So what, and I'm not giving out financial advice whatsoever. Unfortunately, I have to say that, right? Just to be on the safe side, right? But my opinion, because this is America, I can have an opinion, right? My opinion would be have patience, right? Have patience. I don't know what you're holding on as far as right now. Like I said, not a bad time to accumulate, but always have patience, because you never know. Even if let's just say we go and retest just back here at like the 65. I mean, even though it's not much, you could be saving yourself like 3%. About 3% right there, just right there, right? Now, maybe if we see some kind of a retracement back towards like maybe 64, now you're talking about a 7 or 8% retracement, right? But you have the opposite effect is, what if we already saw where we were going to drop down to, right? And what if we, start making new local highs, and maybe, you get what I'm saying. So, obviously you got to make that decision on your own. But just right now, honestly, looking at the market cap at where we're at is not a bad spot to continue to dollar cost average in, being that we're only at $50 million. It's so small. But that's why I'm always saying, I'm not sitting here trying to like sell you guys on something because I'm invested in this thing as well, right? But I always tell you guys what I'm doing, right? And I tell you, I'm taking advantage of the dips. I'm taking advantage of the dips because I know when everything is out, and it's boring or the market's not doing good, that's usually the best time to accumulate if you're able to, right? I know everybody has different financial situations and everybody gets their money at different times, and we're not all just sitting on money and just have the luxury of, all right, yep, I'm going to buy something today, right? Some people got to wait for funds to clear and stuff like that, or you got to move stuff around or whatever the case may be. So I completely respect it. So, but I'm just going to say straight up, right now is not a terrible time to buy. But, if anything, if you think that maybe we're going to retrace a little bit, have some patience, you might be able to accumulate. As of today, what I really wanted to get across to everybody as far as Milady, and we're going to go look at a lot of other projects right now, but we're focused on Milady right now just because we've seen this is like a big mover for today. What we see today is what I've been telling you guys. When we start moving, it's going to be fast. It's going to be fast. We're always going to have retracements, but we're going to continue to have these fast moves, right? So that's why I keep telling everybody, just make sure you guys are just planning accordingly. Add to your bags whenever you have the opportunity, because the number one thing, and I say this all the time because I went through it, when you're in the middle of a bull run, when you're in the middle of a bull market, and now your project just went up or whatever, just say Milady's up 10, 20x, you're going to be happy as hell, right? But one thing that you're going to be saying is, I should have bought more. I should have freaking bought more, right? It happens every time. I guarantee it. I should have bought more, right? So, I mean, it is what it is, right? You can't go back on any of that stuff, but I'm living from experience, right? And I'm giving you what I've gone through, and this is when I was, on some projects that I had 20x and I was up, a serious amount. I still was like, bro, I still had a lot of dry powder on the side, and I could have bought triple what I had, right? I could have bought triple what I had, but I was, I didn't, and it's because me personally, I invest conservatively, right? I always want to plan for the worst, but make sure I set myself up for the best, so if I have $5,000, right? I don't put it all in the market. I'll put like 60% of it in the market, and I will always have dry powder on the side. But you look back and you're like, damn it, I should have put that 40% in the market, right? Hindsight 2020. Looking back, you're always going to say that stuff. So you're always going to say it. But it doesn't matter. If you're holding on to anything of Milady, you're going to be in the green. I see good things in your future. I'm reading a fortune cookie right now, and it's telling me I see good things in your future. So Canary said, that's why you better invest in Crow as well. There's NFTs that are hidden gems. I'm big in Crow, bro. I'm big in Crow. I actually hold a lot of Chronos NFTs, believe it or not. I was accumulating last bull run some stuff. But yeah, definitely I believe in Crow. One thing we always say about Chronos is that, and I'll pull it up, so looking at the DeFi, with Chronos, I just wish that, like, the Chronos coin is going to do, the Chronos ecosystem is great, right? But they really need to try to bring in some more meme coins, just more development on their DeFi. Looking at Solana, right now, Solana's obviously been the hot commodity for Solana, right? But also what's really driving Solana is everybody trading off their DeFi. And like today, 24-hour volume, almost 600 million. Arbitrum, 500 million. You guys remember what I was telling everybody about Arbitrum? Look at that. $500 million for 24-hour volume. So Arbitrum is going to be a force to reckon with. You have Binance. Isn't this nuts? Binance dropped all the way down to about 500 million. The other day, this thing was at like $3 billion. Crazy, but I mean, it's always going to be a big DeFi. But top four, you have Ethereum, which is always going to be, up there, right? 1.2 billion. Solana at number 2, Arbitrum at number 3, Binance at number 4, and Polygon at number 5. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is all the way down here. Did I pass it already? Right here. All the way down here. So you have probably 12 down. You have Chronos with $5 million volume for their DeFi. Now, I'm just disappointed in them because I really want to see Chronos thrive, right? I want to see Chronos thrive. I want to see them do great. And the only way that they're going to really start, building back up on their DeFi is bringing in developers and letting people build off of their ecosystem, right? Just like that's what Solana was building in the last few years. I feel like Chronos has dropped the ball on that. I feel like they dropped the ball on really the whole DeFi because that's what's really going to bring up Chronos. People buying Chronos to swap on their DeFi. That's why Solana is doing so well. People love to use the Solana network, right? So, I mean, that's just me, complaining, right? But, I mean, it's true, though, right? It really is true. I want to see Chronos DeFi. I want to see them. We want to see meme coins get added. We want to see projects get added on to Chronos. I want to see the volume, pick up for Chronos. But I do believe long-term that it's going to be good. Arcatub said invest in muscles. There you go. And MeX threw the 3 muscle signs. There we go. Hey, real quick, while everybody's in here, make sure you guys hit that like. Make sure we hit the likes. We're at what? About 40 people. We got 25 likes. Doing all right, but hit the like. Come on, it takes 1 second. Appreciate that. Supports the channel. And real quick, I do want to give a big shout out to everybody in the channel, but I want to give a special shout out to Rawls. If you're still here, brother, thank you so much, Rawls. Rawls tunes in. He lives over in the UK, across the pond, and he's always, throwing in those super chats. So I appreciate that, dude. I really do. Thank you again for everything that you're doing for the channel, and each and every one of you guys. Also, I appreciate every single one of you guys for coming in, spending the time, and hitting the like. I know everybody's subscribed. So let's just do it. Let's do it. Now, let's jump in on a couple projects. Let's check out the watch list, right? We have some projects on the watch list that we've been watching. Bunk, as of a few days ago, was on a massive run. Jumped up, I think, like 20 or 30% out of nowhere while the market really wasn't doing good. 42%. You guys can see since then it's retraced a little bit, but it's really holding up at around that 12 mark. Looking at the market cap for Bunk, this thing is somewhere around about $700 or $800 million. About $800 million, yep. So this thing has definitely jumped back up. At an all-time high, this was around a $1.4 billion. So it looks like it's trying to jump back up there. Remember, I always say, and I've been saying this, I think Bunk is going to be a solid project for this next bull run as far as meme coins. The only thing that I do say is that the potential for gains, if you want to compare Bunk towards Milady, obviously I think Milady's is going to have a hell of a lot more gains to be made just because of the fact that the market cap is 1/40th of what Bunk is right now. Meaning when Milady gets to $800 million, that's going to be like a 38x from where we're at right now. So just take that into consideration. But Bunk, I think, is going to be a solid meme coin when we get into this next bull run. Now, this is a fairly new project, but we do have a couple people in the chat that have been mapping this project out. So we did put it on the watch list. And this is going to be Mady. Maybe Mady. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I believe it is something about heroes. I'm unfamiliar with the project, but oh yeah, Heroes of Mady. But this project has been going crazy lately. It really has. Volume has been so high for this project, given that it's only about a $200 million market cap. The volume at $100 million today, and it's down 20%. I mean, daily the volume has been just so steadily up. Imagine when Milady volume is at $100 million. Just imagine that. Today, Milady's market cap Milady's volume is around $5 million. That's 1/20th of what the volume for this project is doing. But this project, you can see on the 7 days, is up 170%. This project has steadily been moving, and we've been kind of mapping it out. I was telling the people that were asking, I was like, as far as retracements, we saw this retracement right here at around $66.35 from after it made this all-time high. And I was like, you know what? You're going to see these retracements here and there, but it looks like this project is going to continue towards the upside. And that's pretty much what it's been doing. I mean, 1 minute you'll look and it's like at $7, and like literally an hour later you look and it's at $8.50. Like the fluctuations are absolutely insane. But this project doesn't look bad at all. If you are waiting, have patience for this project. You might, after it cools down a little bit, might be able to find some support, like I was saying before, somewhere around that $6. You can see it was a spot of resistance and support at the 382, somewhere around that $6. And if we get lucky, this is when I would probably start buying in, is around $4.85, somewhere around that 0.5 right here. This was a solid spot for some resistance. Most likely would flip into some kind of support if it was even to travel towards that downside. But I don't foresee that happening anytime soon. Now, let's see here. Where are all my Swifties at? Where are all my Swifties at, huh? Where are you guys? I'm just kidding. Swift Coin. A lot of people have been asking about this project. Don't really know anything much about this project. It's a very small market cap project. Just came out not too long ago. Look at this. Market cap's at around $10 million. Volume fairly, at around $5 million. So not too bad. Like I was telling everybody, this project wouldn't be a bad little project to catch maybe when it's down like it is right now. Jumping in. It's traded on Coinbase. So this is a small market cap gem that you can actually accumulate on Coinbase. A lot of times when we get into these bull markets, Coinbase will actually have a lot of these small market cap gems that'll have their day in the sun where they'll jump up, like 2-3x in a day. So with that being said, maybe not a bad project to keep an eye on. Like I was telling before, at this 19 mark, if we are blessed to ever see that again, would be a solid spot for some accumulation right there at that 19. You can see, though, since it's made this big move, the bottom where it's finding some support, we'll actually put a line there so we map it out. Looks like it's going to be somewhere around this area. Let me see here. Somewhere around there, around that 26 mark. So it's really not far from there. I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of hovers around here, finds some support, and maybe takes off on another run here. But this is going to be Swift. Now, PRQ. We do have a couple people like Craig, I believe. Craig, are you still in PRQ? Told you we put it on to the watch list, so we'll start mapping it out. So this project, another project, such a small market cap. Very, very small market cap. Let's see here. Somewhere around 35 million. So this is another project that's less than Milady's market cap. And you can see this thing goes on crazy like gigapump runs, right? And I've been telling Craig, if you want to risk it, catching these things maybe when it goes on like a 50% pump, just take a risk. And basically what I'm telling him, or not telling him, not financial advice, but what I would do maybe is take a risk, sell, reposition yourself, and catch it when it drops back down, because it seems to be that's all it wants to do. As it's moving up, it is making higher lows, right? It's making higher lows, but if you can catch one of these like big spots where it jumps up, you might be able to double your position without having to add any kind of liquidity. Now, I do have a spot for some solid support somewhere around that 16 cents. It did drop briefly below right here at the 14.5 cent, but you can see as it dropped, found that bottom, shot up another 50% from there. So another project to keep your eye on. You guys know Myro. I've been definitely jumping in. I recently jumped in at 5 cents. I didn't even know Myro was actually up to 7 cents. Not too bad. I've been basically accumulating Myro when we get down towards this support level. You can see we've done it multiple times, and I just keep adding to my bag. Somewhere around 5 cents, 5.2 cents. For Myro, it is traded on Solana's network, on the Solana DeFi. This is like an OG DeFi for this season. So this thing has been out for a few months, but one of the earlier meme coins that started pumping really well on Solana network, right? So definitely been taking advantage of the dip. Market cap now is at around 70 million. When I started accumulating, it was around 48 million. So something like that small. The circulating supply is pretty much all the way out at around 95%. I've been accumulating Myro. I told you guys, I put a prediction. All Myro has to do is get to $1 billion. Not even. 944 million. Almost where Bunk is, right? And Myro will be at $1. So I've been picking up Myro by the thousands. You know, just in the event that this thing does jump up anywhere close to $1, definitely that's, I mean, from where I've been buying in at, that's a 20x. So we'll have to see how that goes, but right now, not a terrible time if I was to dollar cost average in. Maybe, you know, I would wait because you can see how Myro's kind of been going on these swings. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe, because right now we're retesting a local high that we've tested a couple times. You might see a rejection. You can see it's been making higher lows, but possibly catching it somewhere around 6 cents wouldn't be a bad spot to start dollar cost averaging in on Myro. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm going to jump back into the chat real quick. So ARK looks like, let's say, as a Bitcoin maximus, I'm like, this is nonsense. Oh, really? Nah, bro. Let's see here. Canary said, if Milady thrives, so does Crow. That's the sexy thing about Milady. Crow is the top dog in our space. If we 100x, Crow will pour everything into Milady. Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, so you think that if just because Crypto.com owns so much of Milady that if they start, you know, really pumping as far as their native coin, that it's going to bring up Milady? I'm not saying that it won't, but I don't think it has an indirect correlation, right? I really don't think it has an indirect correlation as far as the Chrono's native coin and Milady. I do think it's awesome that they own a big bag because I like Chronos as a or Crypto.com as a platform. I really do. I think their spread when you go to sell is a little craziness, but that's on another story. Everybody in here has heard my rant about that. I'm not even going to get it back into it. You guys will hear that rant as we get back into the bull market and I go to sell some of my assets. I'm sure I'll be complaining about that. Now let's see here. Craig said, or hold on. Tony B said, what's up, guys? Adam said, got my 100 billy now. Nice, bro. Respect, dude. You're right up there with Light. We have Light. I don't know if he's in today, but he just hit 200 billy. So that's awesome, dude. Craig said, I got my Swifty. Nice. And let's see here. Only because it's at 10 million market cap, have no clue what it does. It's basically a meme coin that's on Coinbase right now, is from what I've heard. And he said PRQ is dying on him. Oh, I don't know. You know how that thing is. It's not doing good today. Tomorrow it will be up 50%. TJ said 20x, baby. And Craig said, ARK, so how much Bitcoin you got? He's about to ride on him. X-Man said, looking good today. Definitely, X-Man. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, Milady. Going back to Milady real quick, just if anybody just jumped in. Yeah, Milady definitely saw a beautiful pump today, and we are still pretty much holding our gains at around the 67 mark. I think we just basically saw this beautiful pump. Hopefully we can hold up to around where we're at right now. You know, maybe at least this 0.5 at around 63. That would be pretty much this little local high that we did catch a few days ago. If we can at least hold these gains as we start moving up for Bitcoin, this pump that we saw today is honestly going to be nothing compared to where we're going to be headed to. So no worries. And Craig, I think, you know, ARK or whatever his name is, ARK means well, but you know, you know how the Bitcoin maxis are. You know how it is, bro. It is what it is, man. So getting back on what we were talking about. So we were at Myro. Another project that I do honestly love and believe in is Fetch AI, guys. Fetch AI. We were mapping it out. We saw that it bottomed out around 50 cents right here. And since then, this thing has started to move, obviously having a nice pump. I definitely was looking to get back in. You guys know I did sell at a little bit over 50 cents. So I was looking to maybe looking for that 48 cent fetch. Let me see if I can zoom out here. I was looking for a 48 cents fetch somewhere around right here where I believe that's the 618. That's the 0.5. But we never really found it. We never found it. You know, it never really came back down. I thought because you can see as we bounced multiple times right here at the 0.5 that we most likely were going to come down. I was probably going to start accumulating again and just getting that bag back up and running. But miss out on that opportunity, being greedy, I will say, because it was only at 50 cents. I mean, it wasn't a big move from 50 to 48, but once I say a number, I'm like, I'm waiting for that, right? Or it's going to get damn close to that where I want before I buy in. It's just all part of having patience, right? So, but it is what it is. I made some solid money. Remember we were talking about Fetch 8 months ago when Fetch was at 15 cents. This was a potential buy, as far as adding to the bag, and that's exactly what I did. Sold around here, obviously missed this next pump, but it is what it is. But a solid project in my eyes for AI. I think AI, especially this is an autonomous blockchain. They have their own blockchain. This project right here is going to be a solid AI project. So check it out. Market cap somewhere around $400-500 million. So still technically not that bad. ICP, honestly, still holding, looking great right now at around $12.88. Really struggling, though, since it did make these local highs at around $16. Really struggling to get past back up towards that $13 mark. They've been really chopping around. It did jump up at around $13.70 right here, but you can see it was quickly rejected, dropped back down towards $11.80. And you can see since then, it really has been chopping between the 236 and the 382, somewhere around that lower $11 mark. And like I said, somewhere around that $13 mark. Obviously, we all know that a $20 ICP is just around the corner. Honestly, we all know it. This thing is going to start moving. It's going to start moving back up. It's going to break this local high right here. And we have a couple spots already mapped out at around $18.57. And then right here at $20.76 as some spots for some resistance. Most likely will flip into support as we move into this next bull run. So another project, ICP, given the bigger market cap, would be something you guys already know how I always say. Small market cap, meme coins. Mid market cap, something like Fetch AI. And then something with a bigger market cap would be obviously your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, Solana, and now something like ICP. ICP would be a lower big cap project, but this would be something that I would want to have in my stable as some stability in your portfolio. Obviously, whenever we do see dips, projects like Solana or Bitcoin, Ethereum, even ICP won't see as a dramatic move as you're going to see your small caps and your mid caps. So, I see, who was it? I forgot his name already. ARK. See, I promote all, we're looking at a spectrum of projects, right? We're not only just looking at meme coins. I always tell everybody, to have a full spectrum out there, you want to make sure that you're, oh, you know what, guys? Oh my God, I am so sorry. Let me see if it jumped back on. Dude, I freaking missed the tab. I've been sitting here pointing out. Have you guys been missing the charts? I just realized I was on a completely different tab. I am so sorry, guys. I'm sitting here. You guys, it turned into an audio. You guys couldn't even see what the hell I was talking about. I'm so sorry, guys. Sorry about that. I've been mapping out the charts here, but for whatever reason, it jumped on a different tab and it didn't. It wasn't on the screen. Sorry about that. But just continuing. So XRP. I know everybody loves XRP out there, right? Just kidding. I've been telling you guys, XRP, so boring. Not much going on, right? This thing is going to watch. It's going to go out of nowhere. It's going to take off. And it's going to shoot up towards $1. I'm telling you guys, watch. Out of nowhere, when everybody least expects it, this thing is going to just basically just sit around 50 cents, and it's going to basically just weed out everybody that just cannot take it anymore. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them if you're holding on, to XRP and you're looking at other projects like, man, I could be getting gains on all these other projects. And I'm sitting here holding on to this project that's not doing much. But I guarantee as you guys start doing that, watch, boom, it's going to end up shooting up toward $1. That's exactly what happened with ADA on the last bull run. ADA, Cardano wasn't doing anything. Was, up a little bit, but compared to a lot of the other projects, was doing nothing, right? And then out of nowhere, everybody was like, I'm giving up on ADA, besides the diehard, ADA community, right? Everybody else gave up, expecting that there was going to be massive gains. And then out of nowhere, as everybody sold off, ADA went from like 90 cents up to about $3.50. So I wouldn't be surprised if XRP does something similar. Now, one thing is XRP's market cap is very, very high, right? So, I mean, this is going to be a project that I don't expect is going to do like a 10x. I think this is going to be a solid project that most likely will see some kind of like a 2 to 5x possibly in this next bull run. 5x being somewhere around $2.50. Obviously, 2x being somewhere around $1, a little bit over $1. So, Canary said, there's a Great Depression predicted to happen after this historic pump. I'm leaving the country and waiting it out via Thailand. Well, if that's what you think, I really, who knows, bro? Anybody can predict, what's going on. All I know is give us our bull run first. Give us our bull run first, and and let us make our money, and then we'll figure all that stuff out. Let's see here. Craig said H-bar's holding tight today, trying to pump, but the CPI kept it down, I'm guessing. We'll check out H-bar here in a second. I wanted to get into Arbitrum. Arbitrum, you guys know, if you've been following the channel, you guys know I've been real big on Arbitrum for a while now. Obviously, a couple things. Milady is traded on the Arbitrum ecosystem. Arbitrum obviously is a layer 2 project that's on the Ethereum network, but it's a layer 2, right? So it has its own ecosystem, and Milady is one of the coins that's on its ecosystem, right? So, as we watch Arbitrum continue to build and just basically get bigger as a layer 2, we want to see that, because it's going to be nothing but better for Milady, right? Not that the prices coincide together, or go parallel, but at the same time, if you see, Arbitrum, really doing well, and I think it is. I think Arbitrum in this next bull market's going to make it up towards possibly $2 to $10, honestly. The market cap is around $2 billion right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if this thing easily gets to $10 to $20 billion market cap in this next bull run. I mean, you guys can see the market cap $2.6 billion right now. So, I mean, this thing is a solid project, I honestly believe. And looking at the project for the last 7 days, up almost 12%. This is its whole life right here as far as being traded. Says it's down 82%, but you guys can see, obviously, it bottomed out somewhere around 83 cents. And since then, it is around $2. So, big project that I believe in. This would be honestly put into the bigger market cap category, right? Smaller, bigger market cap category. ALI. I know we got a lot of people, or not a lot, but a few people that are invested in ALI. I myself is invested in ALI. This is an AI project. Definitely having some solid days. You can see we did make a local high right here at around the 25 or the 2.5 cent mark. I was accumulating somewhere around the 2 cents. With this project, the market cap is relatively low, small for an AI project, around $85 million. So under $100 million for an AI project. I think this thing could possibly get to a few $1 billion in this next bull run. So definitely been accumulating. I wouldn't be surprised for us to get to a $1 ALI. This thing would only need to get to about a $3.5 billion market cap, which is very, very doable in this next bull run. So for myself, picked up a solid bag of ALI and just been holding, waiting to see what this thing actually does in the next bull run. Obviously, I have some support right here at the 18 mark. That was where we dipped whenever the market really was dropping down like crazy. This was during post ETF when Bitcoin dropped down to about 38,000. So you can see, I don't know if that was the technical bottom for this local area that we're in, but this was a solid spot for some support. Honestly, other than that, around the 2 cent, if you can find it around the lower 2 cents, wouldn't be a bad spot to accumulate. But even right now, being at around $85 million market cap, still relatively small compared to what I think this thing is going to be when we get into this next bull run for sure. Jojo said, I'm up on ALI. I knew you would chime in, bro. So am I, dude. So am I. Mao said, Milady bull run equals 100. Is that a 10,000x? Miles, 10,000x? Bro, I'm not saying no. I'm saying yes, I hope, right? 10,000x, dude. I think a lot of us in this chat would be freaking billionaires if it was to do that. I'm more conservative. Even though I would love to see a 10,000x, I wouldn't be mad if we saw even a 500x on Milady, bro. That would make life-changing gains for a lot of us here. So Jojo said, I'm also finally up on Milady, got in late. Nice, dude. That's awesome, bro. And that's, right now, and this is, we'll bring back up Milady real quick. Let's see here. Where is Milady? Right here. That's why, when we were chopping around in this last 2 months, and we were making some of these lows, I was telling everybody, not obviously not financial advice, but just dollar cost average in, bring your averages down. Just keep accumulating right now. Keep accumulating on these dips. And that's what I was doing as well. And just like Jojo said, finally up. He's finally up. And I'm sure they've been dollar cost averaging in as we were, taking these dips. So, I mean, that's awesome, bro. I'm happy to see that you're finally in the green, right? And we haven't even it really hasn't even started yet, right? We really haven't even started yet. I mean, holding still 7 zeros in front of our price, we're still so early on this project. Obviously, we all know the market cap at around $50 million is such a small market cap for a meme coin, especially a top contender meme coin in this next bull run. So definitely a good move. So let's see here. Miles said, that's the plan, bro. Billionaires. Hey, I'm right there with you, bro. But I won't even, obviously the more the merrier, but dude, even if we see millions, that's what's up, right? Even if we see hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's still, we can flip that and, we can keep it moving and get to those goals that we're all looking for. Craig said she's cooling off in order to cook again. I mean, right now, yeah, we had such a big move today that, like I said, I want to see us hold somewhere around at least where we topped out earlier yesterday at around that 64, 65. If not, at least it's 0.5 right here at around the 63.7. That's still giving it some room to cool off even more. If we can hold those levels, we'll be setting ourselves up when Bitcoin gets back up past 50,000 for us to be eventually going on another pump and holding our gains, right? Obviously, only reason why we saw, these big sell-off, or I wouldn't even say big sell-off, but this cool-off from this pump that we saw was that the rest of the market, obviously, Bitcoin was, going through a little bit of turbulence today, which was to be expected like we predicted yesterday. So let's see here. Canary said, if we 1000x, or if we 10,000x, I'm buying a giraffe and riding it to the mailbox and back every morning. Craig said 5 zeros would be awesome. And can you check Tia, please? Mate, yeah, definitely. I feel like we haven't checked this in a while. We haven't. It broke out of the fib retracement that we had. What's going on with TradingView today? It's been delayed. All right, so let's look up and see what the market cap is for this project as well. I always like to get the full aspect on what the hell is going on. So this project, honestly, I mean, you can see just pulling up for the weekly, this thing is up about 7%. Let me make sure this is so I didn't realize TIA, the symbol TIA was Celsius. I didn't realize that. I don't even know if I pronounced that correctly, but I didn't realize that was the symbol. But that's awesome. Yeah, so this project, I've been hearing nothing but good. Obviously in the last month, you can see it technically is up still 5% for the week, up about 10%. And you can see as we look at this chart, I mean, look at this chart. Isn't this exactly what you want to see in any of your projects that you're invested in? I mean, look at this. Just beautiful natural growth. You're not seeing a giga pump just going straight to the moon and then sell-offs. All you're seeing is just these finding a local high, retracement. Finding a local high, retracement. Finding a local high, retracement, right? That natural growth is what you want to see on this project. Now you can see we did top out right here somewhere around about $21. Around there, you can see we topped out, hit our head almost twice on that, and we are having somewhat of a little bit of a cool off. But if history repeats itself, you can see that most likely this thing is going to have some kind of a retracement, most likely towards this $18.60 where it pretty much already hit. I'm saying $18.60 just because you can see, and I'll map it right here. You can see, hold on here, what? Right here, we've technically hit our head on it multiple times, right? You can see we found support, very small, but you can see at least 1, 2, 3 times that we have bounced and hit our head on that spot for some support. I'm sorry, for resistance. So most likely, if we do continue to move down, we'll most likely find that $18.63, somewhere around there, to be support before we start moving back up and at least retesting this $21 mark as a local high. I believe, though, if I'm not mistaken, that's an all-time high. Yeah, because this project's fairly new. So, I mean, looking at from when it dropped to where it's at right now, beautiful, beautiful project. Just natural growth, exactly what you want to see. This right here, I would continue to just ride this thing up, as long as you can. I mean, we're not even in a bull run technically, or we are in a bull run, but beginning stages. Imagine when we're in a full-blown, mid bull run, alts are going nuts. This thing's probably going to shoot up towards $50, $60 easily, right? So easily. Now, let's see. I wanted to check out Solana real quick. Solana's been definitely doing pretty damn good. You guys see, this was back a few weeks ago, I believe, right? Yeah, this was back in December. We started this descending wedge triangle right here. And you guys can see at some point I was like, this thing's going to find a bottom. And I remember opening up a long right here. And I freaking sold myself short. Forgot where I sold off at, but I did not. I mean, I could have honestly had that position still open, just riding it. That 100x leverage. And I freaking sold myself short. I even opened up a long right here. Right here. It's like every time I sell myself short, it's like I do all this TA and I have all these support levels. Like these support levels were there before we even hit it, and we find these support levels that I have. I'm like, great, it hits it. Open up a long, and then I'm like, out. I get like a 50% move, and I'm like, I jump out, like, because I'm like, screw this, what I'm saying? I don't want to lose no money, so I just jump out, and sell myself short. And I miss out on all these freaking gains. I did it here again. I did it right here again. So, but regardless of my trials and tribulations on my leverage trading, Solana's looking good. Back up to about $112. Obviously, we saw this local high right here at 126. So, not far from getting right back to where it was about 8 weeks ago when we had this massive pump. This is when pretty much the whole market was moving. It made this local high. Definitely not far from where that's at right now. You can see from where we are to where that local high is. You can see we are only 12% away. 12% away. We're going to be right back there for Solana. We'll definitely be right back to $126. I wouldn't be surprised in the next few months as we move. Solana's most likely going to be pushing up towards $200 easily. Very easily. So let's see here. Raul said, thanks, bro. See you another time. I'm going to continue playing Modern Warfare 3. I am so bad at it. Laugh aloud. Need to get better. How I was ages ago on Modern Warfare 2. Speak soon. Like, real quick, Rawls, if you're still in here, don't be upset about that. Everybody, bro, is not good at that game. The only people that are really good at Modern Warfare 3 are the people that sit on the game all day long, every day, all day long, right? Those are the people that are freaking just like running around knifing the hell out of you, sliding, like doing all these crazy things. Trust me, I play it. They just got the new map. I play Warfare, right? Modern Warfare, but I play what am I getting to? Like the Battle Royale, right? So they just have a new, I play Resurgence, and they just dropped a new island, right? It is a sweat fest, dude. I mean, the island is, you got like 100 people dropping in on this island. The island's so small. I mean, it's just consistent, just like every corner you're fighting squads. It's absolutely mayhem, right? And I'm like running around. I'm like, how are these people so like just consistently good, And I'm like, well, you know what? Because they sit on this game all day. They sit on the game all day. So Don't get frustrated, bro. But I appreciate the super chat, and I will catch you tomorrow. Hopefully you'll be back in here. So let's see here. Adam said, hey, 32 views and 35 likes. Good job. Hell yeah. That is awesome, bro. That is awesome. And Aneo, what's going on, brother, man? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so just to recap, everything is looking great in the market. We have really, we just mapped out everything that was pretty much on the watch list, as far as what we have going on. Obviously, there's a massive amount of other projects. And if you guys want to see any of your other favorite projects, please let me know. We can always add them to the watch list, and we'll start covering them daily. But as of right now, Milady sitting at around 67, still really trying to hold on to these gains. You can see Bitcoin, we bounced right here at this 50-day SMA like we were talking about earlier. Beautiful bounce. Obviously, we saw this turbulence move due to the CPI numbers released today. Wasn't, the best that they were anticipating. Honestly, looking back, not a bad CPI report today. It really wasn't. It's in the direction that we're looking for, but obviously it wasn't the best for the markets. We saw the drop down to about 48.3, but since then we have bounced and we're currently at around 49,700. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get back up to 50,000 here soon. 50,000 most likely is going to be a spot for some resistance as of right now, just because we saw the drop today. We're probably going to hit our head on 50,000, probably for a little while and have to keep retesting it, but eventually we will break it. My next spot for Bitcoin as far as some big resistance after we break that 50,000 mark and we hold 50,000 is going to be 52,000. That's going to be the next spot. That's going to be a pivotal spot for some solid resistance. But obviously as we move on and we get closer, we'll map that out. But for right now, we want to tackle obviously that 50,000 and get back up there. And like I said, all the alts, this is what I was talking about a week ago when Bitcoin was at like 45, actually like 42, 44, in between 42 and 44. I was telling you guys, have patience. Bitcoin needs to get to certain levels, right? AKA around 50,000 or more, and really hold those levels, and you're going to see altcoins start to come back alive. I'm not saying altcoins are going to absolutely go berserk, right? But they're going to start coming alive, kind of like what we saw today for Milady, right? They're going to start coming back alive, and we're going to start regaining some of those losses that we saw from the big pumps just 8 weeks ago. We're going to start getting back up to those numbers, and then eventually we're going to exceed those numbers. We're going to get past all those numbers that we saw. So for like Milady, our local high for Milady is somewhere around, I didn't realize how much we actually pumped 8 weeks ago, but around the 17 mark. So it looks like some crazy moves that we're going to need to see, right? But I'm telling you guys, we're going to get up there. We're going to get up there. So we have about 150% that we're going to start, we're going to slowly but surely start eating up that 150%, and we're going to get back up there. Surely, I want to say slow and surely, but I think it's going to be more of a faster move, than we anticipate. So, just be ready. If you do have the advantage of buying in on any dips, take advantage of it, obviously, right? Not financial advice, and make sure you're making the best moves for your financial situation, just in case if we don't see those pumps until 4 months down the road, right? You don't want to be, rushed to have to sell anything if it's not, the right time in the market, right? So you want to make sure that we're only investing money that's going to be sitting in our bank accounts that we are not going to use, or sitting in a shoebox under the bed, and we're not, it's just basically just sitting there collecting dust. That's the type of money that you want to just be investing in, buying in, and dollar cost averaging in, just so you're not stressed about it and you're not forced to have to sell, if any kind of financial burden, arises and where the market's not, exactly where you want to be, so that's pretty much where I do as far as everything. Canary said, I hate those bastards that take the fun out of the nerds are talking about Modern Warfare. And so Aneo said, invest in Milady too much, bro. What do you mean by that, bro? What do you mean? Canary said, this smart man is doing entire hour-long seminars every day on Milady. What other small market cap coin has that? Think about it. And that's right, bro. but not just for Milady, but for the whole market. Whatever you guys want to look at, we definitely take time and we look at whatever you guys want to look at, right? Just particularly for today, we spent a little bit more extra time on Milady because obviously, we're all invested in this project and we want to see it go crazy, right? So we're definitely going to take our time and look at it for sure. And everything's looking good, guys. So other than that, I don't think there's anything else for us to cover. We covered all the meetings that we have coming up. We've covered, news articles. Nothing really too crazy as of now. I think tomorrow we're going to see a retracement for Bitcoin. I think that we're going to most likely see, us get back towards that 50,000 mark. Obviously, like I was saying, we're going to keep hitting our head, on the 50,000 mark, but eventually it's going to break through. Hopefully we see a nice little pump tomorrow. We just wake up and Bitcoin just wants to get back up, past that 50,000 mark where it was just 2 days ago, right? That's going to be some big signs. And I think, having that ETF, the ETFs open, that's just another big thing that I think is going to really get us back up towards these $50,000 marks easily, because it's not just you and I and all of us, these retail investors. We have now Wall Street, wanting to see Bitcoin really start taking off as well. There's a lot of money that's coming in on Bitcoin. Did you guys see that Micro Sailor? This was like a week ago, but they just bought back in. Not bought like they sold, but I mean, they just added, it wasn't crazy on compared to his other buys, but I mean, bought in, I think, another $100 and something million, of Bitcoin. So you can see it. Institutions are continuing to stack up on Bitcoin, right? You see the ETFs, the outflows and stuff like that are topping every day, doing better and better right now, right? I mean, the writing's on the wall, and that's just for Bitcoin, for crypto. Imagine when we get into to altcoin season and what you see what these altcoins are going to be doing. It's going to really, if you haven't experienced a bull market in crypto, be ready. It's unreal. It really is. It's unreal when it happens. It's something that you look at and you're like, this is absolutely insane. Looking at your portfolio, and it's just continuously moving up. So, that's what it is. That's what we're going to keep. Oh, Aneo was saying, keep buying. I got you, brother. That's what I keep preaching. Obviously not financial advice. Got to keep saying that. But I always tell everybody, if you're able to, just keep buying those dips. Keep buying those dips. Have some chips on the side so you can keep just dipping into the dip, right? Nico said $$ CA. What is that? What is that, Nico? Is that a project you want to look at? Let's go back to Myro real quick. I just want to check out. Myro's at 7.5 cents. Not too bad. I'm telling you guys, mark my words, Myro is going to get close to $1. It's not going to take much. I really do think Myro is going to get close to $1, so it's going to be a solid buy right there. If you guys have the opportunity, like I said, check out that 5 cent mark. Somewhere around the 6 or anything under that 6 cents is going to be a solid spot for some adding. Another project that was actually doing really well was Dog with Hat. Oh, dollar cost average. Oh, cost average. Oh, I see what you're saying. Dollar cost average. I got you, bro. I'm not up with the hip acronyms anymore. Just kidding. Yeah, just keep dollar cost averaging, and I got you. A couple things I want to point out real quick. You guys remember, I hope everybody was listening to me, but remember Jupiter. I love Jupiter. It's one of my favorite swaps on Solana. Obviously, they give me a platform to where I can leverage trade. So I love Jupiter. I love the swap, everything. They just obviously released their coin. I think it's been like 2 weeks ago. And I remember I was telling everybody, be very careful. Whenever new drops happen, especially when they airdrop a lot of coins or tokens, you have to be very careful because there's going to be a lot of sell pressure. I was looking at something else. There's going to be a lot of sell pressure. And I said, I don't think that we've actually hit the bottom yet for Jupiter. And, this was back when it was, sitting there. It looked like it wanted to stay around 50 cents. Well, it has dropped even more down to about 47. And I'm thinking it might have a little bit more. Usually it takes about 2 to 4 months after the actual release for all the sell pressure to kind of end, for the projects to bottom out. So if you're looking at Jupiter as far as, wanting to jump in, I do think Jupiter eventually will start moving back up, possibly towards $1, maybe, possibly. What was I going to say, just have patience. You might be able to catch, like a 40 cent. And I believe I was predicting around 40 cents is what I think Jupiter is going to come down to and find a bottom. Is somewhere around that 40 cent mark. So have patience on Jupiter. I think if you want to jump in on Jupiter, that would be a solid spot, anywhere around that 45 to 40 cents. But just really let the time. You want to give it time. You want to make sure that everybody that's planning on selling is already sold, because you have a lot of people that jumped in on pre-sales, and you have a lot of people that got airdrop free Jupiter. That one kid that was 17 years old got $1.7 million airdropped into over 10,000 wallets that the guy had. Mastermind. Dude made off like a bandit. So dog with hat, we've been watching this. Obviously, we saw it, retrace back towards around 16 cents. And since then, this thing's jumped up to about 37 cents. So solid. It's good to see a lot of these meme coins that are on Solana, the OG ones. This is up 117% for the last few days. This is back on the 7th, so about 5 days, over 100% move. What I was saying was, and you're seeing it with Myro, a lot of these projects that are like OG for this cycle, and I mean the last few months, that were really going parabolic, when DeFi started going crazy on Solana like two or 3 months ago, a lot of those projects took off and retraced. Now they're looking like they want to take off again, and a lot of them have, like Dog with Hat and Myro. So looking good. So just to recap, because I know you guys have been on for a while, Bitcoin not looking bad. Like I said, give it some time. I think in the next couple days, if not tomorrow, we're going to be right back up towards around 50,000. Hopefully we can hold 50,000. That's really what we're looking for. We want to hold that 50,000 plus mark. I think if we can do that, a lot of these projects, these altcoins, are really going to start taking off. Milady had a beautiful day today, obviously topping out around 72, almost 73. We have retraced. Again, like I was telling you guys, what I would love to see that would make it very bullish for Milady is us hold at least some of these gains. If we are going to retrace somewhere around that 64 to around that 0.5 at around 63. Somewhere around those areas, 64 to 63, we want to see hold. That's basically this local high that we hit our head on just yesterday or the day before. So if we can hold those gains, Bitcoin jumps back up towards around 50,000 plus, we'll be setting up for a nice run here. So everything is looking great. Other than that, guys, we're going to go ahead and end the stream. Today's been a successful day, another successful stream. I thank each and every one of you guys for coming in and spending time, asking questions, hitting the like. You're already subscribed. You're set up. I appreciate everything. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Be safe out there. Be safe, right? Make sure you guys are safe out there so you guys can make it back tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be here right back, mapping out the whole market. Till then, I will see you guys. Have a wonderful